And almost in a weird way, take this for Aries or first house, in a way that helps you contextualize your fight for not just you. You're not doing it just for you, yourself, your lonesome, your glory. You're doing it so as to give to others, boost others, whatever fight you're fighting. You know, it's like, I know I have my particular situation that I always kind of speak to, I transcribe onto, I impose onto the tarot, because I know that the micro is universal with the macro. There's carryover, there's crossbreeding in these lessons that are universal. So, but I say this to say, don't forget in the fight that you're fighting and pushing and hitting on further to knock that wall down. Because we all have that. And if you don't have that, then you need to find something to fight up against. And not like some Don Quixote shit, but you need to put yourself in a challenging position so as to be able to break on through to that other side, break new ground, carve a new path, what have you. Or find someone that needs your support who's doing that. But I say that to say that when you are contextualizing breaking down that wall for yourself or helping someone else break down that wall, it's not just for a singular glory. It is for the sake of giving back and helping others and providing. And it's almost as if Spirit wants to remind you of that. Is how it's coming across. You know what I'm saying? Like, heaven on earth is through little baby steps. It's not necessarily these big grandiose gestures. And so the more and more almost that you show that, then you're actually in commune. You're actually in conversation with Spirit or the quantum or the 5D, where I could give, where I could serve. And so if you're not going to serve in a way in which you don't seek to walk down that path in that way, then you better contextualize what you're doing as service in some way, shape, or form. Because it feels as though that you might be looking at the fight just for the fight in like this survival mode, but there needs to be more of that, like, authentically, genuinely giving of yourself. Almost as if you're asking, where am I finding or locating the excitability? And I'm here because someone or something needs me here in some way, shape, or form. So let me try to find the middle ground between, I almost want to say like a why do I get up in the morning type jammy, but no pun intended, but we can't just be here to serve ourselves or what we think is success. And we know that. I'm not saying anything new here. I don't think anyone ever really does say anything new, but this is more so trying to upload yourself into that better understanding of the spirit of service. And I'm not saying that you haven't been doing that or that that's not in the back of your mind, but it feels like that needs to be more so in the front of your mind. And again, that's not disparaging what you're doing, but it's almost like ushering in this new kind of way of being, where instead of like a shark in water, and again, I'm not saying you're a shark in water, but sometimes when we're operating in this default way, now we need to be more so like this feeder, right? We need to feed. We need to look and see where we could feed and give authentically, genuinely. That's the best that I could kind of explain this. And it's almost in a weird way as though you could take that, what's been on the back burner or has had to have taken a back seat because of, call it democracy, call it capitalism, you know, being at such the kind of spearhead. Well, now this feeding needs to be at the forefront. I know it sounds funny, but it's like you have to put on a different hat in a weird way. But it has to happen energetically, subtly, with you being on board with, you could be here, you can do what you're wanting to do, you could break down that wall, but it has to be with the spirit of feeding or giving. I know that sounds really simple to some people, and I know it really sounds maybe not comprehensible for others, but that's what it kind of is giving right now. Let me try to see what comes out for Taurus. If you're not a Taurus, as always, you can cross-watch and apply it to the respective house. We have houses 1 through 12, so you can take all the readings for yourself and apply it to the respective house. If you were in an Aries, you could have applied this to your first house. As always, available for one-on-one readings, as well as if you want to learn tarot professionally, reach out. I have courses available. However, more peace. And happy Valentine's Day.